Hey guys, so for question number 3, we are asked to find the volume of this figure. We are told that all angles are right angles. So everywhere you see an angle or two line segments coming together on this figure, it's a 90-degree angle. And that's going to give us some clues as to what type of figure this is and then how we can use volume formulas to find the total volume of this figure in meters cubed. They're telling us that all of these measurements in this figure are in meters. They're just not including the unit because they got lazy and didn't want to write a whole bunch of M's. So if all of these angles are right angles, so that's a 90-degree angle, that's a 90-degree angle, that's a 90-degree angle, that's a 90-degree angle, we have a prism. Actually, we have two prisms stuck together, and what a lot of you did brilliantly on the assessment was divide this figure into two separate rectangular prisms. Some of you divided it that way, which was cool. Others divided it this way and said, look, we have one rectangular prism here, one rectangular prism here. Let's add them together, the volume of each of the rectangular prisms. And if we add those two figures, then we would get the volume of the entire figure. What some of you also did, which was really cool, was you said, well, what if we found the volume of, if this were one solid, oops, that's kind of confusing. If this were like one solid block, let's find the value of that and then subtract out this chunk right here, which could be another rectangular prism. So lots of different ways to approach this problem. The one that seems easiest to me is to divide into two separate rectangular prisms. So I'm going to find the area of this rectangular prism first, and I'm going to do that in green. And then I'm going to find the volume of this one, and I'll do that in a different color and add them together. So we know for a rectangular prism, as for any figure, that volume is the area of the base times the height of the figure, or the distance between the bases. So for this rectangular prism, I'm going to draw in kind of the dimensions of that hidden back part. I have a rectangular base. So I know the volume is going to be the area formula for that base. So base times height or length times width, basically this 8, okay, we can call it the width of our rectangle times whatever this length is right here. And now, we're not given that exact measurement, but we are given enough clues to figure out what that measurement is. You see here that we have a 9 meters. What does that refer to? That refers to the distance from this point to this point. Well, we know that the base of this rectangular prism extends beyond that 9 meters. What is the length of this distance right here? Well, we can look to this measurement right here for some help. If the length of this segment is 7, and all of our angles are right angles, we know that these two segments are congruent. They're parallel and congruent. So this segment right here has to be 7, meaning that this entire length, or the length of our rectangular base, is 9 plus 7, or 16. So the area of our base of this green region here is going to be 8 meters times 16 meters. The height of this rectangular prism is 10 meters. And I'm doing a really bad job of including my units on these, but let's pretend that I put an M there, indicating that all of these measurements are in meters. Now we just multiply. 8 times 16, I can't do in my head, maybe you guys can. 128. Meters times meters is meters squared. And this is cool because we can figure out where the meters cubed actually comes from. Times 10 meters. Bye, Jackie, drive safely. Volume equals 128 meters squared, that's the area of our base, times the height of this figure, which is 10 meters. 1,280, and meters squared times meters to the first power. We remember when we multiply like terms and we have exponents on those like terms, we add the exponents. We get meters cubed. 2 plus 1 is 3. or meters times meters times meters is meters cubed. That would be the volume of that green chunk. Now let's find the volume of this chunk. So this guy here, because we want to find the volume of this entire figure. So we notice that this is another rectangular prism. The base, this orange base, is a rectangle. The base times height of that rectangle is 6 times 7. So V equals 6 times 7. Both of those are in meters, times the height, which is also 10. Okay, nothing changed. This 10-meter height here is the same for this entire figure. So I have 10 there. 6 times 7 is 42 meters squared. The area of that base is 42 meters squared times the height of 10 meters equals 420 meters cubed. Now we remember that I wanted to find the area of this entire figure. So I'm going to add this plus this. 1,280 plus 420 equals 1,700 cubic meters. You guys are awesome.